This isn't about the mandate. Don't let anyone misguide you into thinking that anyone is asking you to go against the mandate. I'm asking you to follow the mandate, which specifically allows for religious and medical exemptions and accommodations, which are protected by federal law.
My name is Dan Webster. I'm with Washington Civil Rights Council. Redmond Fire claims that religious accommodations requested by firefighters are too burdensome to the fire departments, thereby creating undue hardship. Federal courts hold that when an employer denies religious or medical accommodation on the grounds of undue hardship, any hardship asserted must be real rather than speculative or merely conceivable or hypothetical.
26-year past employee of Aerojet Rocketdyne here in Redmond, Washington. As a rocket scientist, I've come to the conclusion that it's safe for unvaccinated firefighters to work as first responders. So do you have to be a rocket scientist to come to that conclusion? The good news is no. You really just have to focus on two facts. First, vaccinated and unvaccinated firefighters can get and transmit COVID.
As the pandemic ran its course from fall through the winter, my employer, like many in Western Washington, experienced the highest rate of infection of SARS-CoV-2 it had seen since the pandemic began. Every positive case was from a fully vaccinated employee. At its peak, 30 vaccinated members were out because of COVID.
Fact number two, firefighters can provide direct patient care safely with proper protective gear and procedures. In August of 2021, the U of W Medical Center published a report led by Dr. Thomas Rea, Program Director for King County Medic 1. And I'm quoting from Dr. Thomas Rea, "Our findings should help reassure first responders that emergency care in general, and specifically when performing aerosoling generating procedures, can be safely delivered to patients as long as personal protective gear is properly deployed."
Additionally, the CDC has even given guidance allowing nurses who test positive for COVID to come back to work as long as they are asymptomatic, because the CDC knows and acknowledges that personal protective equipment has been proven to work and protect against COVID transmissions.
We can do this safely, and why I can say that is because we have already been doing it safely. For many, many months, almost 2 years, we've been responding to calls as firefighters safely with PPE, with daily testing. But October 18th, that wasn't good enough for some reason.
As vaccine mandates are dropped, emergency powers are lifted, social gatherings no longer have limitations, vaccine passports are no longer required, and we are all getting back to normal. You have to live with the fact that you chose to turn your backs on your dedicated, highly trained, hardworking firefighters and drove them out of their careers, all because you chose to ignore the part of the mandate that allows for accommodations.
I want to believe that the facts matter and that your mandate is not punishment or politically motivated. Please show us that facts matter and government works, and allow unvaccinated firefighters to return to their jobs.
In conclusion.
Last Thursday, my fire chief, Kevin O'Brien, made the decision to engage with the union to find a safe and legal path for myself and 13 fellow co-workers to rejoin our ranks as firefighters. He stated to the Board of Fire Commissioners, "We want our people back." And we will be meeting with the union next week to discuss bringing our people back safely. That meeting will be held tomorrow.
I, too, have had to sit where you sit and listen to an impassioned number of firefighters, citizenry. If I had to vote based on what I knew last October, I would have voted the same way. We are finding a way back. These meetings are going on in our district. We're the largest fire district in Snohomish County geographically. Every district that surrounds us has unvaccinated firefighters. And because we're so big territorially, we have to take mutual aid from every department around us and have mixed crews. And our numbers continue to go down. Our infection rates have not gone up. That was part of the discussion when we put measurables in place to say, now, based on the advice from our attorneys, our risk managers, our doctors, we think we can move forward.
This is a very impactful issue. Give yourself time, grant a stay until you have that information, and don't let anyone bully you into making a yes or no vote.
In conclusion?
Until you have that information.
So there's absolutely zero justification for their terminations.
And these completely unjustified terminations are setting up Redmond for an enormous lawsuit.